Have you all been in before?
No, first time.
Hey, and we're live. Actually, our first live broadcast from a very awesome place called Hodgepodgetastic. It's a Funko store here in Universal City, which is right outside of San Antonio, Texas. And we are joined by Sarah, who is the owner of Hodgepodgetastic. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us on here.
So let's start with what got you into Funko?
Actually, my now husband, when we started dating, we would go to like Heroes and Fantasies when these were first starting to become out on the scene, probably back in 2011. And we would just mainly purchase characters that we liked from childhood or we cosplayed a lot. So if there was something that we wanted to cosplay, we would buy the pop just to kind of help emulate the costume.
Oh, when you're thinking of cosplay, do you have a favorite cosplay that you did?
I do a 9 foot Baymax.
Wow.
So, but yeah.
Okay, so 2011 when Funko was starting to take off. Um, is that what then led to you opening a store?
Oh gosh, no. Store was never in mind. I'm in the medical field. My husband's military. Um, so we actually got with Funko probably back in 2014. But because of the cosplays that we did, we got picked up by some local charity groups. So we would do like last life celebrations, hospital visits, that type of thing. So whatever their last life celebration is what we would cosplay as, and then what we would also bring. It was always themed. So if it was Disney, we'd dress up as Disney characters. If it was Marvel, so forth. And then we would purchase pops because back then it would be cheap, like $5-6 or whatever you can get these things at. But when the hype got to be real, we reached out to Funko, told them what we did, and then we started up an account with them to order these out by the cases because hospitals, most of the kids we saw were 5 and under. They were peds. So they preferred these pops because they were handheld items. They didn't have like G.I. Joe with its tiny million little accessories, and same thing with Barbie. So we started mainly, handing these out at our events, and then whatever we didn't give out, we would literally have like a plastic table at a local mall show that we would just give out, not give out, but we would try to sell off the remaining stuff we didn't give out to help fund the next event type thing.
That's really cool.
And then after a while of doing mall shows, people started asking if we would ever do a brick and mortar. And we probably took the hit in 18 and opened up an actual brick and mortar across town, shut down around COVID, and then reopened in late 21, in October of 21.
So I'm bringing up Danny right now, who is looking at some stuff. So do you kind of want to explain what he's looking at over here? It looks like Big Wally and
so it looks like the case he's at is actually some of our autograph pops. So that Wally is autographed by Matthew Woods. He's mainly known for voicing General Grievous from Star Wars. So not a lot of people realize that he does Wally as well.
He does a lot of stuff there at Lucasfilms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does. I know the last time I spoke with him, he was actually at Corpus Christi Comic Con a few years back. And when I asked him where he was heading off to next, he said before he went home, he was going to have to stop by the studio because he was filming for Ant-Man.
That's really cool. So in your time here with Funko, do you have a favorite Funko of yours or is there a grail that you personally have been looking for and hope to have one day?
I guess I've been around this for so long it almost becomes immune. But I do have like my earlier ones that I did collect still in my collection. But like I said, it was mainly it's all over the map because it's things that I enjoy, like Shira, Misfit Elephant. I might not collect all of like that whole claymation set, but I enjoy Misfit Elephant, so I would have him, or like La Muerte from Book of Life, because I was using the pop as a way to look at the costume type thing.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself that when like the Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley pops came out, and they were like just retail, and now they're like upwards to a couple grand.
We just got our cases of MJ in. I think we have 2 different variations of MJ along with the album covers that just came in.
Yeah,
from Funko.
nice.
So
yeah, and especially like the horror pops. Like, who knew that like Jason, Michael, and Leatherface would, you know, be up in the triple digits? Like, I don't think anybody knew when Funko first came out.
It was a thing. Yeah, it was going to be a thing. And then everybody wants the box. Everybody wants it to be pristine.
Right.
But
and then like Loungefly, which was they weren't doing licensed stuff, I don't think, before Funko purchased them, right?
I mean, we've had a Loungefly account for quite some time.
Right.
So, and I think it was when we started vending. So they've been around for a bit.
Yeah, I know Funko.
They partnered up with Funko, because now it's like you got the pop in the bag type combo bit.
Right. And then like now that they're partnered with Funko, they have more licensed stuff. Yeah. So it looks like Danny is over in the like Marvel section. Yeah.
Yep. So we do keep this, since we have over 20,000 pops in inventory, we do try to keep it as organized as possible. So things are organized by genre in the store, but not only is that, but we have bins that slide out that will have pops in it to make it easier to look at versus having to play Jenga on the shelf. Once he gets to like our cabinet stuff, it will actually be in drawer slides. So drawer slides pull out, so it's easier to look at as well.
Yeah. And then we have Nicole on the other side of the store here. I love that the pull-out's been.
Thanks. We noticed that some of the people started adopting that at shows because they'll ask where we got them from, and you know, they'll use them for whatever it may be, whether it's DVDs or, you know, they're just little bins.
Yeah. Is that just like various over there, or is that
that's
like
an animation section? So there's animation falls under like a very wide genre. So SpongeBob is anime, anything Hanna-Barbera is anime, the Jetsons. But then a lot of people think of anime as just like Dragon Ball Z or MHA, you know, One Piece.
So as a fan of this TV series, there's a lot of people that are still scratching their head why Funko hasn't done anything. Kim's Convenience.
A lot of them is just licensure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a gold mine. I'm pretty sure if they did a Kim's Convenience line, it would be sold out.
Yeah.
Especially Mr. Kim.
Yeah, because I know sometimes they do get approached, like, you know, for those talent that do want to pop up themselves, because they do a lot of comic conventions. And then there are some that they've reached out and they're just like Funko will reach out to see if they can make a pop, and they're just like, no.
Yeah. So, I know it took a while for Schitt's Creek to become, and that sold out really good.
Yeah. And I don't recall them making any more new ones since its original like release. I don't recall any like actual Schitt's Creek's pops after that, actually.
Yeah, I think they did release a line last year.
Yeah, that was it though. I don't think they've like series, you know how like they have series 1, series 2. I don't think there was like anything else after that first wave.
You know, Target had a couple exclusives, and then they did New York Comic Con. So let's see here. Danny is now, it looks like, I want to bring up a bigger picture here. Oh, 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay.
Ad icons.
I think he's in the section with where like all our sets are. We have some stuff that are sets.
Yeah. So what are the hours of the store and the location?
The only day we're actually closed is Monday. Tuesday through Friday, we're open from 12 to 6. Saturday, we're open all day from 10 to 6. And Sunday, we're open from 12 to 6. So pretty much after the church crowd. We have later hours during the weekdays, mainly because judging from like our old location, things really didn't start picking up till like lunchtime, when people would try to come in during their lunch break or, you know, or later in the day after work.
And it looks like Nicole's over here by the Loungefly stuff that you guys have.
Yeah, we actually have a lot more out in the back. It's just
Space.
no room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It's literally what it is.
what is that count of Funko Pops that you guys have here?
We have over 20,000. So what you see out on the floor, in all honesty, is maybe a quarter of our inventory. We do have a lot on show racks which literally holds thousands. And then we have a garage where everything is still organized by genre, but it's packed away in boxes. So it'll be like Disney, but each box packed correctly fits about, I think, 64 to 67. And we stack them on the dollies, and they'll say Disney, Marvel, and so forth on there.
That's really cool. And then you also go to Comic Cons as a vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we did see your space at MonsterCon. Is that usually the size at shows, or
Typically, that's an average size, but we go anywhere depending on how much we're allowed to have. We go anywhere from 3 to 6.
That's awesome. And then now it looks like Danny's looking at some of the prototypes.
Yes, yeah. So I started collecting protos maybe, oh my days, I'm gonna say a year ago at this point, because I think it was like August of last year, mid-August of last year.
And then for those that don't really know what the prototypes are, a lot of them are either early designs or designs that never made it to a finished product.
That's not what that is.
That's
so it's kind of like in the process of, so each pop may have like maybe up to 9 prototypes, let's just say, and it's just the process before it's finally released. So these things aren't necessarily like sold at stores. Like the only way to obtain prototypes would be through like fun day events or Funko events, and then they will you'll normally, like, once you go and pay for these events, you'll get like a bag, and like a swag bag, I guess, per se, and then you can get them in these like little they're in like black Ziploc bags type thing, so you can't see what's in there, but it's just all various. You can go from like the pocket pop to as big as like one of the 10-inch ones. You could be at the event, Mike could be on his way to the bathroom, and he's walking past you, and he'll just be like, "Here you go."
Oh.
So like, and there is a proto group that people these circulate through, I guess you can say. So everything has to trace back to Funko. So there is a lineage. So most of the ones that you see like on eBay is what we call scrappers, because a majority of those are fakes or from China that probably just like 3D printed them out type bit.
Yeah.
But every single piece literally goes back to where it originated from, which is a Funko artist that worked at Funko.
So you are talking about like, eBay and fakes and stuff. So you've been around Funko for a long time. So how do you tell like, especially the ones that come in the boxes, a fake to an authentic? I know sometimes the fakers have been getting better, but they're still.
One of the first telltale signs, in all honesty, is just the box in itself. Like it's different. It's shinier. Like you can just tell by looking at it that something's off.
Yeah. What about like the colors, maybe of the box? Maybe something's not as bright or it's too bright.
Yeah. So something on the box is always off. So that's the first thing before we even reach the pop, to be quite honest. But most of the time, though, since we get everything by cases from Funko, it's not something we really worry too much about unless we're doing buybacks. And then even at that rate, if I know it's a pop that's been faked too many times, I don't even want to risk it.
Okay.
And I just don't buy it back. Because we do buybacks for cash is 50% for us, and in-store credit 60%. So it's hit or miss on some people whether or not they're just trying to whittle down from Funko and get out of the game, or they're done with that series and they want to move on, so they'll take the credit because it's normally at a higher percentage, especially if they're bringing in so much stuff.
I had a question from someone here. So Brad is a friend of mine. He says, how do you decide which fan bases to support when there are so many different pops available?
Well, we know our customers. So most of the things that we have here that people ask for, it's anime or anything horror. That's the scene here in Texas. And actually we did a JSA event to where Ryan Spence, the son of James, who owns the company, said the most Googled word in Texas is anime.
Anime.
He said he laughed because he was surprised that it wasn't like the Alamo or something Texasy, I guess. It was anime. So the anime scene's pretty hot around here, and that's how come a majority of the talent that we bring in for meet and greets, a lot of them are anime. Because we've done like all over the map. Like we just had Spencer Wilding in, and he a few weeks ago, and Darth Vader from Rogue One.
Right.
It's what he's mainly known for, his White Walker character from Game of Thrones. We've had Pinhead in. We've had several other Star Wars people. We've had Andy from Toy Story, so we had John Morrison.
Nice.
But the ones that people seem to go crazy for is any VA for anime.
Any VA for anime. Okay. So can you walk us through the process of setting up an event here in store when you're like, what is your thinking? You're like, well, this is what I want to do this time, and then this is what I want to do next time.
In regards to guests that we have?
Right. So we
get approached, or they themselves
okay.
ask. And then if I tell them, as long as we are a pop store, so as long as I can get your pop in still, like we can, then we'll go forth in regards to doing a contract and bringing them in and the works. But that's literally the main basis. Like, as long as you have a pop that is still accessible, that we can still order out. Because normally once I book them, I will in turn go to Funko and I will order master cases of their pops out.
Okay.
So that way it could be here in time for their signing.
And that's anything that's not vaulted.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
I mean, if they still have it in the warehouse, even if it's bolted, we can still get it.
Okay. All right. And then for those that are, I use the word vaulted, for those that are not familiar in the Funko scene, what does vaulted mean?
It just typically means it's no longer in production. It's not that it's not out there anymore. It's just literally they just stopped producing it, and what's out there is out there.
Okay. All right. So when you're looking from year to year, what are the top vaulted grails that say right now? What do you think people are looking for the most?
In all honesty, with our crowd, it is all over the map because everybody's version of a grail is different. It could be a $12 pop, but it's a pop that came out in maybe 2012, so you can't find it out on the streets anymore. So for them, that's a grail. It doesn't have to be the most expensive pop. We have a set out on the floor that's worth 7.5, and it's because it's from 2012 San Diego Comic-Con, limited 48 pieces each, and we have the entire set. So for some people, it's the price that's the grail, but I guess it just depends on the collector, what a grail is. So our grail collectors are all over the map.
Yeah, like me
There's
personally,
not one set thing.
I mean, there are a couple of grails that I wish I would own, and one of them is the CM Punk Hot Topic pink tights.
Okay.
I had the chance to buy it when it originally came out. He was still with WWE at the time. Never picked it up, and then go to find out that after it was vaulted, it was like $900. So I was like, oh man. But as a collector of just things, Nicole and I love Supernatural, so that's a line we want to collect. We did have a good amount of Supernatural pops, but we moved from Florida to here, and to get here, I had to sell that collection.
Oh, no.
And it was like a $4,000 collection.
Yeah.
So now I'm down to just a couple pops. I mean, we do still have Dean with Baby. We kept that one. We were just not going to get rid of that one. And then Stitch was another. So that's
one of my collections. A Stitch.
Do you have a favorite Stitch? There's so many out there.
I'm going to say there's one that's sitting down, but he's flocked. It's an older one, or the one holding the pineapple.
Oh, yeah.
I think is piece of trash. What was it? A scented one from Hot Topic eons ago, maybe like 5.
It came in a box, right? Yeah. Yep. I had that one. It was scented. Yep. That was one.
And then my 10-inch toothless. There's a 10-inch toothless.
Yeah.
And How to Train a Dragon. Those are one of mine that I like to keep, but anything Stitch for me is out of box.
Yeah. So Nicole is over here at it looks like a play center here.
Oh, it's our lounge area. Yeah. So we have all the arcade games. They're all free play. All you gotta do is turn them on. But from our old location, I knew when we closed it down due to COVID and everything, that after COVID, when we reopened, I wanted like just like a communal area, because sometimes people have kids and they're not necessarily all about this, or
Right.
one spouse might be and the other one might not. So they'll sit on the couch or watch whatever movie's going on or jump on an arcade game. There's a portion down here where you see bookshelves full of games and buckets of toys, and coloring books to occupy their
Right.
kids while they can shop in peace.
And just knowing you the short time that I have, I get the sense that community means so much to you, and I think that comes
Yeah.
from you working in the medical field as well.
I think it's just us as people, though. It's not necessarily have to do with my past or what I used to do as a job. I think people know us as people first. They know us as like mom and pops. They know us for our customer service. They know us for who we are versus what we're selling. So we do shows that, some what I call our lifers, to where before we even had a brick and mortar, people that used to just shop with us at Wonderland Mall,
Mhm.
Even though they'll see us at the show, they might necessarily need or want anything, but they'll still come, they'll say hi, and then they'll just buy something to show support. So
See, customer service, I've been in here a couple times.
so
Top notch.
Thanks.
Top
Yeah,
notch.
customers end up becoming more like friends and fam than anything else.
Right. When I came here the very first time, I barely had one foot in the door. Hi, welcome.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I'm really really big on is acknowledgement. It's like to acknowledge when they walk through the door and to say goodbye when they leave, or thanks for coming in type thing. Because we may be all busy, but as long as you just say hi to them when they walk in the door, it's like they know that they were seen.
Right. And then that's what will keep bringing them back.
Yeah.
And that's important. So I'm guessing your customer base ranges in all ages.
It really does. Really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Would you say like there's like people like in their 60s?
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the way down to like people in their teens.
Yep.
And younger.
So we
right?
even have like out of box stuff that we have like in our $5 section. So like if their child just wants something, it's like there's out of box pop for like $5.
Yeah, like this one right here. Nicole
Yeah.
loves Captain Marvel.
I
so
saw her. I was like,
Yeah.
why is that on the table?
she's gonna pick that up. But I can't talk so much highly of this store. You guys, if you're in the San Antonio area, please come to this store. Like I've done my deep dive of Funko in this area, and this to me is the best store to come to. As you see, Sarah is all about community and customer service, and they have Funkos for everything, whether you like horror, anime, Marvel, DC, TV, even the odds and ends of like the ad icons and stuff.
Well,
and it's stuff that you thought would never even be a Funko is here.
We carry international, so we do Pop Asia.
Pop Asia, yeah. And then you guys, when you talk about like buybacks and stuff, so you have like the authentic stickers, and then you have the special edition stickers, which the special edition stickers say like they're a Walmart or a Hot Topic, and overseas, like it doesn't matter. It just says special edition.
Yeah, it's just because they don't have those stores.
Right. So is there a line here that you would if someone wants to get into Funko and maybe they don't know where to like start collecting, is there a line that you see that people jump to that say, hey, maybe I'll start collecting?
Because I do have a lot of people that don't know where to start, or they were just gifted one and then it just kind of sparks their interest. So for those that are new to collecting, I always ask, like, what's personal to you? Do you have a favorite TV show? Do you have a favorite superhero? Or maybe they might lean more towards Disney. Well, do you have a favorite movie or Disney princess character that you like? So to always have that first one means something, not just to buy because, oh, you know what, I think it might be expensive later.
Yeah, we know a lot of those people. I like to collect what I like. So like I love Marvel, Supernatural, Stitch. Nicole, her favorite Disney is Sleeping Beauty. So anything Aurora, Maleficent, that's like her jam.
Yeah.
But then we like the show like The Boys.
Yeah.
Which is an offbeat show. Very fun.
It's a really good show. Super popular. We had butt ton of their pops come in because Celebrity Fan Fest that year was having the entire cast of the boys come in. So we ordered every single like cases out for all the characters that were coming, pretty much that whole entire series. And then COVID happened, and we got stuck with all these cases of the boys pops, and they weren't that expensive, 12, 15 bucks maybe.
Yeah.
And I think the latest season of the boys, just everybody jumped on board.
Yeah, and
And
the new
the
line just came out,
prices-
right?
Yep.
Jensen with Jensen Ackles' character Soldier Boy is in that
Mhm.
new line.
Yep. And then the prices on them just skyrocketed from there.
Yeah. So, is there a line that has not, like, from either a movie or a TV show that has not been released yet that you're hoping gets a release?
In all honesty, nothing comes to mind for me. I know there's particular lines that people hope for them to come out.
Yeah, and before
Because
we went
they're-
live, I said Kim's Convenience. I would love
Yeah.
Kim's Convenience. That's the top one for me.
For you.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought about it in all honesty. I guess I just feel like I'm so busy that I don't really think about these too much, because literally every day is just cases and cases of pops coming in. So
Yeah.
it's like, I guess it's different for us that just like live it.
So, outside of the shop and Funko and stuff,
Mhm.
what kind of fandoms are you into? Is it just anime, or is there other stuff that you're into in pop culture?
In all honesty, no. Um, when we first started doing Comic Cons, my husband knew I was a Boondock Saints fan. So when we first started dating, he took me to Comic Palooza out in Houston.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
And the man that did Rocco was there, and Sean Patrick Flannery. So I took my little DVD and got it all autographed, and that was like my first taste of Comic Con.
Was Reedus there as well?
No,
Okay.
he wasn't. He's the only one that I'm missing. And I've worked many a show back in the day because of Walking Dead that he would be at, but never got a chance because I was working to stand in line for 5 hours to wait for an auto. So
Yeah, I will tell you a story. I actually am friends with Norman Reedus's convention rep, Sean Clark. And Reedus is one of those guys that if he's signing, he will sign for everybody in line. So say like we're towards the end of the show and lights out, he'll still be there and make sure everybody gets their autograph. Another person that was like that was Jason David Frank, who sadly passed away last year. The Green Ranger. He made sure that he made time for everyone in that line. So Norman Reedus is one of those people. So I hope eventually you get to meet Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I saw him, but it was just like, I gotta go. Yeah, gotta go. You just like see them in passing when you're working the same shows.
Yeah. So speaking of shows, you have a show next week, Big Texas Comic Con.
Yeah, we're getting ready for Big Texas Comic Con. It's the weekend of the 6th, I believe.
Yeah, so next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So do you know what type of stuff that you're going to bring, especially with the guests there?
Okay, so we're a little bit of a different setup that we're known for. When we do work a show, kind of like how we have the bins, instead of 6 deep, they're 3, and they are on show racks. But for any talent there, if they have a pop on that lip of the white bin, we have their names on Post-it notes outside of those bins. So anything that, I guess, let's just say for David Harbour, like any of his pops will be in those bins and so forth.
And then the voice of Miles Morales.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. I've seen a lot of shows where I was like, especially with the comics, why they don't put the little sticky notes like this artist or writers here get assigned. But I did see a couple booths do that. That is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, so we started separating them and keeping this separate. So I call it part of our celebrity rack, because our setup is pretty much like our store on wheels, but a super micro version. Everything is still organized by genre. All the bins still slide out. Prices are still in the back with Post-it notes. So it just makes shopping easier.
Yeah. And let's talk about pricing here now. Funkos range from, $5 to thousands of dollars. Uh, how do you figure pricing for the shop? That do you base it on like the pop price guide and like how they're doing on eBay or
It's a mixture of everything. Most everybody knows that third party app is off. So the algorithm comes from eBay. It's literally a mixture of the last 30 days sold, but that mixture would be the fakes from overseas, out of box, damaged, auction, buy it now. That's why prices almost looks like Walmart pricing. Like it always seems off and not
yeah,
very accurate.
right,
So what we typically do is go straight to the source. We'll go to eBay. We'll filter out like US only to knock out like all China and the Russia or Yugoslavia or wherever it's coming from. And then like completed sold to see what the last ones were being sold for. And if it's anything too recent, then we'll just take a look at what's currently going for and find like a medium. So if it's going for like 15 to 25, then it's like $20 or something, you know.
yeah. I I'm just wowed by this store every time I walk in. So being a minority small business owner, is there any advice you would give someone that maybe wants to open their own business that is, a female minority? Um, is there advice that you would give someone that maybe wants to open a business? Like,
Well, thankfully, we are in a place to where it is a melting pot. So everybody, I feel like, is a minority here for the most part. Um, there are a lot of female business owners. So it's like, if you're going to start a business, I always say just establish yourself first, because if not, it does make it harder for people to know who you are. So by the time we opened up our brick and mortar, like people knew who we were. So especially when we reopened, we had people coming in from Dallas, from Corpus, from Houston, from Hondo, just from the outer lying cities, just welcoming us back into the community type thing. So as long as you establish yourself, whether it's online, like with eBay or online sales or that what is it, what app or whatnot
whatnot, yeah, and it's
or yeah.
Macari and
Yeah, as long as you people know who you are, just makes it a lot easier for when you do open up a business to have that established like background, like customer base.
what is the square footage of the store?
Overall it's 2,500.
2,500.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are learning a lot about this shop. Please come to Hodgepodgetastic for your Funko needs here in San Antonio. Whether you live here or you're on vacation and love Funko, this is like a Funko's customer's dream. As soon as you walk in, like the first thing you'll see is you can become a Funko Pop
Oh,
yourself, which is right
yeah.
here behind us. And then, well, the first thing you'll hear is "Hi, welcome," which for any business is great when you feel acknowledged. It's like when you come in here, if you're having a bad day, you walk in, it's like the bad day's gone.
Oh.
So you feel the anxiety is gone. You feel like
Mhm.
this warmth, and that's the type of shop, whether it's a comic shop, a fast food restaurant. That's the type
Mhm.
of like atmosphere a customer is looking for.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm really big on is I don't like behind the counter all the time. It's like go out, talk to the customers,
Right.
interact, that type of thing. That's what I'm really because that's what we're known for.
Right. Is there a story that you feel comfortable sharing with the customer that will always stick out to you?
Mm, not necessarily stories. I feel like because we've been in this for so long, it's just interesting seeing people progress as people to where we might know, let's just say you
Right.
by yourself, single Brian, no kids, no wife, no family. And then maybe 10 months down the line, it's like, oh, this is my girlfriend. And then next thing you know, we're getting married. And then it's like you see the progression and so I'll know customers being solo, then introducing their spouse and they're shopping with us. And all of a sudden it's like, they're pregnant and then now here their child is like 5 years later down the line and they're still coming in. So it's interesting to see like the progression of our customers just throughout time and that they're still coming in.
Yeah. And as you see, Nicole and Danny are still walking around, like showing everything here. Guys, definitely come down to Hodgepodgetastic. What is the address now?
It's 11503 East Loop 1604 North. We're in Suite 103. We're in Universal City, Texas.
All right. So what I'm going to do now is how I end the broadcast. I've been starting to do this. I'm going to ask you 3 things that you're grateful for.
To do something that I enjoy, to where it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like it's fun. Awesome employees, because they literally run this thing when I'm not here. And honestly, amazing customers. Our customers are amazing. As you can see, even while you were waiting before the podcast, you know how everybody's just very happy when they're in here. It's familial. We call it like what, family? It's friends that are more like family. So it's like family.
So I was going to ask if John would like to join us. So we can learn about John here, who was the first employee that I met.
He was. I'm going to pop out then. So John can come sit.
Awesome.
So,
oh, wow. It's been a
All
while
right.
since I've been in front of the camera, man.
yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am John. I have been working a little over a year now for Miss Sarah. Almost 2 years now for Miss Sarah. Love Funko Pops. Love what they do. I love the people for them. I didn't want to collect them at first. It's kind of weird. I used to not like these things, man. And, you know, it's funny because I tell people now when they come in, there's something for everyone. I found a all golden Marcus Phoenix. And from there, I found that they had more Gears of War. Dive straight in, didn't even turn around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Funkos, I mean, dude, everybody loves them. And it's one of those things where you can make anybody happy with these things.
Right. And it's men, women, children.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone. It's inclusive, man.
And
yeah.
as I had asked, you know, you guys have customers that are like in their 60s that come in.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. We have Miss Vicky. She comes in all the time. She loves Space Jam. So you'll always see her checking out the Space Jam section. Our customers are kind of all over the place. And, you know, that's one thing that Funko does really well is making sure that there is something for everybody, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And then especially now with Funko being partnered with Loungefly, they're bringing the women. You know?
Oh, yeah. All the bags and stuff they're doing for that. Yeah, man. Yeah. And they're dropping some really good stuff. I know a lot of people are kind of in between right now, but I know that Funko's been a good company. And, you know, for, you know, you to have a good day, you got to have a bad day. So, you know what I'm saying? So Funko may be in a little funk right now.
Yeah, I mean, I told you that I'm a huge film fan. So Funko buying Mondo and what they've done with Mondo. You know, the whole Alamo Draft House thing.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, it's sick. They're getting more collabs and stuff like that. It's really nice, man. Yeah, definitely. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are your Funko bucket list items that you don't have?
Wow. So it's funny. I actually picked up one of them yesterday, which was the Bank Robber Joker. Didn't think I'd ever actually own it, at least for a couple of years. But that one got marked off. So honestly, man, it's the Brumac.
That was a retail one, right? That was just like that became a grail.
Yeah, that was just a basic. That was a common.
Yeah.
I mean, someone bought it for $8 at one point, and I, paid tenfold bet. But a beautiful Funko Pop, man. Yeah. And I mean, I personally like the way the old Funkos look. I know some people like the new ones. I love the big old body,
where everybody pretty much had the same mold.
Right. Yeah, except painted differently. Yeah, man, I love that. But if I'm looking for something right now, I think it's the Brumac from Gears 4. Yeah, I have not seen that thing, and that thing has been on my mind for probably the past 2 years I've been collecting, and I have not come across it again.
Yeah. So let's see here. What is your favorite Funko line?
Oh, man, that's hard, man. There's some really
okay, so I'll break it down. We'll start with like video games.
Okay, so video game wise, it's gonna be Call of Duty and Gears of War.
Okay.
Yeah, because I pretty much own every Call of Duty one. There's a couple I'm still on the hunt for.
And the Call of Duty
that'll
ones have
eventually-
getting pretty pricey. A couple of them.
Oh
right?
yeah, man. The
because they
Silent
didn't
Ghost
make they didn't make a
Riley.
lot.
Yeah, no, they didn't, and they didn't remake them, which was nice. Because once they redid the actual games, the Funkos actually went up because they hadn't redone them. So there's a whole line for that. I mean, they go through pretty much the Modern Warfare series, the Black Ops series. They go through all of them, and I mean, I love Call of Duty. I've been
Right.
playing it since I was a child. So when I saw that they had those, I was like, I got to pick up on that. But yeah, and then on top of that, the Gears of War, man. Yeah, I'm a huge Gears of War fan. So
All right, so now let's hop into anime.
anime. So here's the thing: I am not too big on anime because for me, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, so I kind of got away from it for a little while. But when I came back, the two that
Original
I was into,
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, yeah,
Okay.
Dragon Ball, yeah, not any of the new. It was actually Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were the ones that I actually grew up watching. But AO. There we go.
Yeah, let me add this back.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to keep looking. I realize I couldn't get that part right.
There we go.
There we go. We're back
Awesome,
live
awesome,
here.
awesome. How do I look? Good.
Look good. Yeah, we just had a little internet issue there.
Yeah, man. Though, but I guess we can pick up where we left off. Yeah, Attack on Titan and Full Metal Alchemist are probably the two on the top of the list right there.
Yeah.
For sure when it comes to anime.
And then when it comes to say like like movie TV.
Not too big on movies and TVs. Only because at least for me, I like to pick up morely on the grails, and so a lot of that stuff, man. Those older movie pops could get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I do love what they do though, man. I love how they put out almost all the main characters and stuff like that from the actual movie lines, and
Right.
it's cool because you actually get to see those things. And I like what they're doing with the actual figures and stuff. Now I actually, it was funny, I didn't realize Star Wars and Marvel were bobbleheads up until someone actually pointed it out to me, and I was like, bobbleheads. Wow. Like, okay, I thought these were vinyl figures, man. Yeah. So I'm loving the fact that they're doing more vinyl figures and they're getting more detailed with it, man. It's looking really good.
Yeah. I was telling Sarah that I'm still kicking myself that I never picked up the Elvis or Michael Jackson, like the original
Yeah,
one that came out
when
like
they were
around 2011.
$7.99.
Yeah. And then, when you look at like, I think it was the Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, like that one is like $700 or something like that now.
Yeah. That's a car payment, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then like I'm a wrestling fan, so like the Hot Topic CM Punk, where he's wearing the pink tights. That was the last WWE pop that he released, so like 2014, I think.
Man.
It was like $8-9, and then now it was like between like 400 and 900 somewhere.
Yeah, man, and that's always something that's
I think
crazy to see.
Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson in AEW, but the Daniel Bryan pop with the beard.
Yep. Yeah, and it's it's always something weird to see. Is it's crazy when we take in buybacks and you flip it to see the bottom so you can scan it, and there's a $7.95 sticker sitting on the bottom, and you're just like, someone paid $8 for this one at one point. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild to see, man. Yeah, it's definitely wild to think that 10 years ago, $60 was a grip. Like, that's wild.
So the same thing that I asked Sarah, what are 3 things that you're grateful for?
3 things that I'm grateful for. I am grateful for start off with my boss because she is awesome. She helps us through not just stuff business wise, but personal matters. So to have that is awesome because I know a lot of people will work at places and management isn't always the greatest. So having a good boss that takes care of you, that's number one. Got to be grateful for. My girlfriend, grateful for her. She keeps me in check when I'm spending too much on these things. She'll let me know. Keeps my wallet in line. And I'm grateful for the day, man. I always wake up and I tell her, at least list 3 things you're grateful for, because you could wake up and you can have a bad day. You list 3 things that you're grateful for, it can completely change your perception on the day.
Right.
So I'm always grateful for another day, man. We're never promised it.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate
So I'm gonna bring Nicole back on so
Yeah, let's do
Nicole
it.
can talk about this store.
She's like, I'm
Yeah,
shopping.
she's checking out stickers, I think, because she loves stickers.
They're good.
It's like, hey, by the way.
Uh,
I thought I wasn't gonna have to be on the show.
Oh.
Oh, ow.
So you just were wandering around, just looking at everything. I mean, I've heard your thoughts on the store, but what are your thoughts on the store, like, and just everything in general, what they have?
I don't know. Like, I think it's like a pop culture dream in here in a way. Like, everything you could be a fan of is represented here. Like, whether it be in a pop form or a video game or a toy or something hanging from the ceiling or something on display. I mean, it's like you kind of go back to that, whatever you loved, So we sold our collection and we're slowly rebuilding it. So they have Crowley over there. And Crowley is the only supernatural pop we didn't have.
And then we're looking at 2 WWE pops right here in front of us.
Which we do have to get.
Yes.
Really. I don't know how you made me have the problem now too. Like, this is not fair.
It's kind of like a disease, right? Funko collecting. It's like you get addicted. Yeah.
It's like, I say it's like that Pringle can effect.
Oh.
You open that tube and it's like, you know what? I don't need all of it. Just 1 or 2.
Yep.
And then like 2 minutes later, you're down the whole tube and you're like, how many calories is this?
It's vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're ashamed. You're ashamed. You're like,
Oh.
I don't know how far this got. I just don't know what happened.
But also, you got to think, like, eat your heart out, Beanie Babies. Like,
Beanie Babies, man. Oh, yeah.
I had quite a few of those too.
The GPK, the Garbage Pail Kids, too. Yeah.
Oh,
I had a lot
man.
of those.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I guess I really did have a problem long before you were involved. So it's fine.
Yeah. Your problems with Boyd's Bears and
Well, yeah, and stickers. Like, I have
Stickers.
like a problem.
and then anything New Kids on the Block.
Oh, well, yeah.
Joey
Anything
McIntyre.
supernatural, I thought I was gonna
Yeah.
die. Like,
Yeah.
So like she was like, oh, a few weeks ago we had Dean laying down, and I said, oh, in the gym uniform, and she's like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I got a problem.
Yeah. So I did want to bring our new co-host on. If you want to come on over. Yes, thank
I'm
you.
out of the hot seat.
You're out of the hot
That's for
seat.
me. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
sorry.
Sorry. So
It's Velcro.
It's Velcro.
I know
So
it's Velcro.
Danny, you were a guest a few weeks ago on. So you reached out saying that you wanted to be a co-host.
Mhm.
So for those that didn't catch that episode, you want to go ahead and reintroduce yourself?
My name's Danny. I'm a nerd. I'm a 15% jock, 90% nerd. I love everything pop culture. Like, I walked in here and I was like, oh, this is pretty much my old apartment because I have a lot of Funkos. So I've been living in San Antonio for like 11 years. And yeah, I work every Comic-Con. Like, I handle celebrities and my side gig. I've actually shopped not in the shop, but like at the cons I've shopped with them before. So I have a pretty good setup. I like the setup they have.
Yeah. So when you first walked in, what was your first thought?
Oh yeah, that was because I just got a new apartment, so like everything's in boxes. Like, oh my god, it's like I'm home. Like people here were super nice, so very good customer service. I recommend it. Like, and I'm not just saying it because we're here. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I go to other shops and it's just like hey, what's up? That's it. You know? But here it's very friendly people, very friendly staff.
So, being a Funko collector, was there something that caught your eye? You're like, oh, that's gonna hurt my wallet.
Not really, but I didn't know that Funko put out a Loteria line. So I saw the Devil and Death, so I'm probably gonna maybe pick those up. I was looking at the sports stuff, and we had one Seattle Mariners Funko. It's cool. I already have it, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Like I was like, oh, maybe I should take this, and like in my brain, it's like, oh my god, dude, I'm at $300 already.
So before we end this show, I do want to ask the same thing that I asked the other guys. 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now.
Basically, my friends, because they've just helped me through this whole process that I've been going through the past few months. You guys for letting me hang out with you guys and making new friends with you guys. My new apartment,
which is awesome, by the way. I love that walkthrough that you did.
Yeah, I let people too much into my life. Like I'm an oversharer, so if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see like everything I do every day.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us. We're gonna have lots of fun going forward.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see Danny around more often. We're gonna share his doodles too because he does really cool stuff.
Yeah. I'm getting back into that. I have a lot of projects coming up, so yeah, show you guys.
So definitely come to Hodgepodgetastic when you can. Like I said, whether you live here or you're visiting San Antonio and you love Funko, or even if you're just curious, this is the Funko headquarters here in San Antonio. So we want to thank Sarah and everybody here at Hodgepodgetastic for letting us do this. This was our first live broadcast anywhere. And we're going to do more of these going forward. And on the side, with Real City Heels Promotions, I'm going to be working more with conventions here, getting creators booked into shows. So that's something I've been building from the ground up. It's going to take a lot of hitting the pavement, a lot of disappointment, which happens when you're starting your own business. But I have a good support group. Danny's now part of that, so I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and follow Hodgepodgetastic on Facebook and Instagram. They are always posting. They get new stuff all the time. They show you if it's a bolted and how much they're selling it for. All you got to do is reach out and say, hey, this is what I want. And if they don't have it, I'm sure they can get it eventually. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and we will see you next time.